What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Now, Battlefield 6 has been the most exciting Battlefield that has launched for a very long time. We have about 350,000 players on Steam that are currently playing, and in the last 24 hours we had a peak about 500,000. Now, with all of those players come into existing Battlefield player fans, new players that are coming to the FPS game in general, or even the Call of Duty players who are just frankly, like me, tired of Call of Duty and want to take a break from it and head over into Battlefield. And there's going to be a lot of players that don't know how to specifically play their roles. So this is why I'm going to bring this video up today. I want to break this video up into 4 different sections to talk about each class in detail, just so that people are going to have a better understanding of what they need to do, how they need to play, weapons and gadgets that they need to utilize effectively to play that class. So for this video, we're going to talk about Assault today. Now, mind you guys, I'm not a hardcore Battlefield player fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I did play 2042, but for only like 2 multiplayer matches. Didn't figure out it's going to be for me, and I decided to not play it, continue playing Call of Duty. I think the last Battlefield game that I truly went down in is going to be Battlefield 4. So bear with me. This is just my opinion on what I think playing Assault you should be doing. And hey, if other players who are more Battlefield hardcore fans want to add in a little bit of tips here and there, let me know in the comments below of anything that I missed that should help our new players that want to play the Assault class properly. So Battlefield's definition of playing the Assault role is this: the ultimate frontline fighter skilled at punching through enemy defenses, dominate close to mid-range encounters, and limit the enemy's ability to fight. Now, my definition of Assault comes down to this: it's to help keep the line moving forward. Now, if you think of football terms, think of the Assault class as the offensive line trying to consistently hit first down, passing that yellow line on the football field. And eventually, after how many first downs, your end goal is going to be getting a touchdown, aka capturing the objective. That's the reason why assaults are given the ability to have a secondary weapon such as a carbine, a DMR, a shotgun. The reason why is they are the front line. They need to have any weapon available to get into each engagement encounter, whether it be close, mid, or far. You got your ARs to help in close to mid-range engagements. You got DMRs for long-range engagements to make sure that you give cover fire to the team pushing on open field towards a capture point. For your very close range engagements to being on point in urban areas, that's where you have the fast CTK of the shotgun that they can use. Because honestly, in my opinion, the Assault class is the only class that has the most leeway in regards to focusing more on kills rather than the objectives on the map, because their main role is to clear enemy choke points. Like for example, engineers are focused on taking out vehicles and aircrafts, supports focus on providing res support, giving covering fire for advancing teams, and recons are to keep painting vehicles, aircrafts, and just to provide as much enemy intel for the team to see on the battlefield. Getting kills is all secondary for these roles. And don't get me wrong though, if you're an engineer or support, you can still get kills. I'm not saying that you can't get kills, but the thing is you're ignoring other focus points that an engineer and support is supposed to do. Kills are secondary. Engineers are supposed to help keep vehicles off the map, aircraft out of the air. Support is meant to keep rezzing the down teammates so that they can continue advancing rather than losing a ticket and having to respawn farther off of the capture point. As an assault, you have to ignore all the noise of trying to help take out vehicles, doing revives as a secondary and if it's safe, but the main thing is you're trying to be aggressive as possible in pushing onto that point. You need to clear the point out. Now let's move on to the type of gadgets that you should be using. I feel like in the role of an assault, there's 2 types of people that are going to run assault. You have the very aggressive pushers and the very aggressive advancers. Let me explain. Your aggressive pushers are the ones that are really trying to push the point, trying to get enemy teams out of cover. That's the reason why they use the high explosive launchers for their gadgets, or even the breacher. You're trying to get enemy teams that are camped out in that power point. The other roles don't have equipment or gadgets that can push the team out of that power point. That's the reason why you have those gadgets as an assault. Or as an assault role, if you're not the ones that are trying to clear enemy teams out of that camped bunker or that camped building, you need to have something like the deploy beacon. A lot of people like to skip the deploy beacon or not use it, and I don't know why, because it's so important to use when you're trying to play in games like Conquest, Rush, or Breakthrough. Every time you die, if you don't have a squad that is close to that capture point that you can spawn on, that it's safely to spawn on, right? You're gonna have to spawn at a different point, thus adding more time to get back to that point that you're trying to capture, aka giving that enemy more time to hunker down even harder. But if you at least have one person on your squad that is an assault that is going to drop the beacon, imagine dropping that beacon like literally 10 feet out of that capture point, say hidden somewhere, right? Rather than having that long 1 to 2 minute walk to get back to that point to try and take it, you're already spawning back in right outside the enemy's doors. Granted, the only downside of the deploy beacon is that your squad can only use it. That'll be really nice if you can drop the deploy beacon and all the other allied squads can also spawn in that beacon too, even if they're not part of your team. But I think with the beacon, it's really dependent on the squad that you're with, right? If you have other random teammates that are not going to spawn on your deploy beacon, it ruins the effectiveness. If anything, it only helps yourself as an assault person because you're going to be the only one spawning in that beacon to try and keep taking that point. But nonetheless, if you do have teammates that understand what that deploy beacon means, it means you're going to aggressively push that point and you're going to able to keep putting that consistent pressure and not giving the enemy team some space or time to breathe. And here I think this is a very important trait that assault has that really help the team. Signature trait, mission focus. Nearby squad mates get faster progress with objectives including aiming and disarming MCOM explosives. In Battle Royale, respawn towers will capture quicker, and in modes where squad mates can redeploy on you, a quicker cooldown for your in-combat state lets them deploy on you sooner. So as an assault, in my opinion, you do have to focus on kills and capturing the objective. That's very clear. But you also have to focus on not dying. Because you have so much offensive capabilities and you have the ability for the squad to spawn on you much more sooner and on your deploy beacon, you are literally the one getting that inch forward to capturing the objectives. I mean, look at all of the traits that you have that's giving you the ability to stay in the fight as long as possible, right? You got the adrenaline stim, where it increases your sprint speed, reduces any stun or flash effects. You got quick recovery, passive health regeneration triggers 50% faster, provides a 50% improvement on healing. You are getting traits that are both defensive and offensive. Why? Because you're the one that's taking the most enemy fire, you're the one that's receiving the most action. And one more thing I do want to add, guys, if you are playing assault, yes, kills is going to be your main objectives, but because you're trying to get on point, I better see a lot of captures on your score as well. If you're just trying to get kills that are outside of the objective points, or you're not trying to push any objective points at all and you're just trying to kill whatever you see, yeah, that is essentially not helping the game overall. It's only just helping your KD. If that's how you want to play, then you can go back to Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is all about wanting KD. If you want to help your team push the objectives, win the match overall, you need to be that frontline pusher as an assault. But if anything, guys, that is a short yet summarized version of the assault class videos. I am going to be doing other videos on the engineer, support, and recon. Reason being I want to do those later is because assault is the ones that I've had the most experience in. I'm going to be playing more on the other classes, that way I can get a better feel of how important these classes are to make sure that any existing, new, or converting COD players that come into Battlefield know how to play their role better. But if anything, if you did like the video, if you found a lot of value in the video, drop a like on it, please. It helps it tremendously in the algorithm. And if you do like the content overall, drop a sub to the channel. We'd love to see you for the next video, okay? But as always, stay pure, stay noble, and hashtag bring back honest gaming. Later, guys.